Pretty good.
Well,
welcome to Furlough Friday 08, gentlemen. This is probably the first episode that we had where our two guests are not concerned about losing their jobs.
That's what I was thinking. It should be like anti-Furlough Friday.
This is the rub it in episode.
Are you in your
no such thing.
Are you in your laundry room, Benj?
No, I'm in the kitchen. Best acoustics. I don't have one of those cool headsets.
No, those acoustics suck, but I like the way you're thinking. You like to eat and podcast at the same time. That's cool.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know.
So introduce yourself, Benj. Like the both of you, introduce yourselves. Who are you? Don't tell us who you work for. We'll make that distinction later here.
Yeah, Benji Reynolds. 19 years in the Air Force. I'm an ALO now, admissions liaison officer. I see Brenda's name on all the emails. 12 years active duty, rest in the reserves a couple years ago, and worked for one of the major airlines. Live in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale.
Is that where you're living now?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think when I was in the unit with you, I was still up in Raleigh. We moved down to outside Fort Lauderdale. My family's here, my wife's sister and her family's here. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're technically not in the unit. And our Karate Kid?
Yeah, I'm actually a karate teacher. That's what I do. I fly airplanes on the side.
That's it, right? And you've been on the show before, showcasing some stuff on the business side.
Yep, we cut up a couple podcasts speaking business with Mr. Masino. Editing still in progress, but we'll be releasing that here in the next couple weeks.
It's all right. I thought it went terribly.
No, it went really good, actually.
No,
it went really good,
bruh. And for those that are watching, listening, or whatever they're doing, however taking in this, these two aren't getting furloughed because they work for carriers that take boxes from one place to the next. So they don't have to worry about the people. Their margins are high.
Extremely high.
The mail never stops. You can come to the conclusions of who they fly for on your own. We don't give a shit. What we do give a shit about is that they're not getting furloughed. And what does this whole COVID thing mean, I guess, for you guys, if anything?
I mean, I don't know how it's on your end, but it's busy. I mean, we went from being able to give away trips on a trip board, have them get picked up, to now. I mean, I can't get rid of anything. And I mean, there's a ton of work out there that just doesn't get picked up. And you can pretty much have whatever you want on my side. So there's a ton of money to be made. I mean, and it's really, I mean, it's almost the desperation level, you know. And I've talked to, in fact, I think it's all that way on both ends. Yeah, it's almost the desperation level where they're going, hey, we'll drop your current trip you have now, and we're going to pay you more to go do this because this is more profitable for us. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever you want.
Wow.
You know. So,
stark difference, stark contrast, and you're right, because I had a buddy that flies with me that got an actual job offer. Now he's been flying with the company for 9 years or something like that, and he got a job offer from your company, and he's actually thinking about taking it.
Wow. And he's a pilot at another legacy.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking to one of the big three, and he's like, you know what, boxes don't bitch, and they're actually seeing a rise in revenue. Is it the same for you, Ben?
It's exactly the same. I am, however, on a domestic fleet, mostly United States, a little bit of Canada. Sure. So I'm hearing the exact same stories from my buddies on the international side where they can't drop trips. They're picking up trips at premium pay. But for me, it's still busy. I'm able to drop whatever I want, pick up new trips, and the reserve guys can fly what I don't want. But it's almost like Christmas season for the past 5 months.
It has been. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Which goes to show that, within the same industry, there's other industries, right? There's other industries inside our industry, and some people are hurting, other people are thriving. And it's a testament to I don't know if it's dumb luck or, because some of us could have gone either direction. We just chose based on, I don't know, what'd you guys choose for? Why'd you end up going the mail route instead of people? Well, actually, Masino, you started with people.
I did start with people. And probably the major influence is sitting on the bottom left-hand side of my screen here is Benji Reynolds. I didn't like it at all. I think I didn't. It's not that I didn't like it. Let's put it, I mean, I could have done it. I didn't work for a legacy, I worked for a major, but I lived in base. So it was a Fort Lauderdale based airline. And I was looking for a different direction. Obviously, before all this happened, Delta was still hiring, 1,500 a year, whatever that crazy number was. And
it was nuts.
I just had no interest. And I was sitting there drinking, probably not too far from what I'm drinking now with Mr. Reynolds.
Speaking of which, let me fill my glass. Benji, if I was there with you, I'd fill yours too.
What are you guys drinking?
Yeah, dude, I did that whiskey tour.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I got going on tonight.
I've got the standard cold brew. Ooh, Black Barrel. Good.
Wow.
It's reminiscent of Milwaukee.
Used to be my favorite, and cold brew is not my favorite.
Ooh, nice.
Hey, hold that up again. Let me see.
Nice. That's awesome. That cold brew is great.
What are you drinking, Brandon?
A little Glen. Oh, man. A little 1824 Glenlivet.
Nice.
Can't go wrong. It's a staple.
Side.
Yeah. A lot of Irish, a lot of Scotch.
I'm more the Irish side, not so much the Scottish side. But
I'm equal opportunity.
Speaking of that, not to change the subject. Have you guys seen the series on Netflix called Peaky Blinders?
Oh, yes. I love it. I got razor blades right here. I got razor blades right here. Definitely.
My kids are watching.
Love it.
Now. Yeah, no, it's great. I never knew about it. Apparently, it's been around.
She can't hear us, can she?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Gonna get her water and head out.
You doing gymnastics?
She is doing gymnastics. She did gymnastics today. There's one class a week on Wednesday.
Very cool.
It's all prep for just the karate thing later on. That's all.
Attaboy. Same thing with my daughter in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. How's that going?
No? She turned 14, and became like a full-blown woman or something. Yeah. Stupid, crazy. It happens. Nobody warned me. No. And she wanted to go that route a little bit, but I told her she couldn't quit. So
not the jiu-jitsu route. The other route.
No, she tried to quit, and it's like, well, either you're the mat with people your size or me, because I got a full gym in the garage. So you choose your poison. Pick your poison. Right. Pick it wisely.
In about 10 years, she'll say thank you.
Well, I'll tell you, that's the problem though, is you get them to like a certain point, and then you lose them at the age of between 14 and 16 or 17.
Yeah, they'll come back.
You're one that stays till forever, but or two.
Yeah. It was it's tough. Girls, because they got all these influences. You look at the numbers and what they're dealing with compared to the boys. I mean, I tell you what, and incidentally, don't worry about changing the subject. Feel free to change the subject at any time. Right. So don't ever apologize.
Well, you see, I got two girls. So I mean, it's I'm done. I don't have it anymore, so it's over.
Not for nothing. And I don't know, Ben, you got girls?
I got two girls.
Yeah. So Tyler has a girl dog or something.
She's 8. I feed her twice a day.
Here's a crazy, and not to get, I'm gonna go off on this tangent because I had to have this conversation with my 15-year-old daughter. Is that now the way we are now, we stay inside, right? We don't go outside to play. So, but boys, when they stay inside and get on electronics, what do they get on? You guys know. What do they get on? Video games. Yeah, they're in there blowing stuff up, so they may have another psychological issue, and you see an uptick in stress-related stuff. And I'm not going to go into, I'm no psycho guy, mental guy, but the girls, what do? They don't get on video games as much to the same degree as boys. They get on social media, TikTok, all their little social media outlets, and it's driving them literally their anxiety levels through the roof because of the bullying. Also, so they go, there's a significant uptick in like, what was the statistic? I don't know. In like teen suicides, teen mental stress, and all this garbage with girls specifically because of this thing. And I see it. Like my daughter stresses about social media posts and stuff like that. It's pretty incredible. So watch your girls. hug him a lot, I guess. I don't know.
Didn't you have an influencer on like a few podcasts ago?
Last week.
Was it last week?
Yeah, last week. Yeah, love.
So, I mean, that's the industry, right? I mean, that's
man.
I mean, they're pushing it that way, you know?
Yeah, and I had conversations with, she's got a daughter, and I had conversations with her about how do you monitor that, or what can you do? And she has a pretty good and interesting, and I'll let her, we're actually gonna invite her back, and that might be a topic to talk about, and let her, I don't want to put words in her mouth, let her discuss that, you know, and kind of get an idea of how she handles that, you know, being someone that's on the inside. And all. So
sure,
it's a very good topic. It's crazy stuff going on. But
and you mentioned, you know, your teenage daughter's stressed out with social media. I know a lot of adult men stressed out with social media right now.
Yeah.
Like you literally have to go onto Facebook in like a good place and just be calm and not get mad when you read shit. Like, because you can get mad in about 90 seconds.
Oh,
you know? And we both know somebody in our friend circle that gets really angry easily. And you know that he just scrolls through Facebook and blood pressure rises. Like,
does his call sign rhyme with age?
It does. It rhymes exactly with age.
Yeah, he's a character. He might be on the show one of these days. I don't know
He's been on once.
Oh, that's right. He did good. Yeah, and he was actually really good. He was mild mannered. I appreciate that. And he's a great dude, and he's got some great insight. But he does get riled up, and he's kind of polarized.
Yep. Well, he's a giant teddy bear that you can poke him just right. And,
he's like one of those giant teddy bears missing like the button eye. You know, and
the half an arm that's ripped off.
The half an arm, the ear's been chewed by the dog. You know, he's one of those cuddly animals that you're scared to look at when you're going to sleep, and you're like, you put him in the closet or underneath. Daddy, he's gonna get me.
Sometimes it's like a pit bull off a leash. You know, pit bulls are great dogs. We're lovable, cuddly, hanging out. Off that leash, I was like, wait a second.
Put that dude back on the leash.
Yep. So have you guys been getting any calls from your peers to get hooked up with the job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Wow. Yeah. United specifically, a couple. Not necessarily get hooked up with a job, but to just advice on how to proceed. You know, it's been 6-7 years since they had to go through the whole application process and everything. And, I feel for them, man. It's like January. Who would have thought?
Come on, man. Like the whole industry was having some record numbers, man. Can you imagine like the profit sharing checks, the last 5 years, we'll say, right? I mean, that I can remember. Well, you guys I know, Masino, you've had at least 5 years in totality. Yeah. But man, we were talking, you know, we were seeing who had the industry leading profit sharing check, let alone, you know, what's going on now, or you know, the pay scale. It's crazy. And now look at us now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely is business travel going to come back? I think that's a big question. You know?
I think so. People still like to be face to face with it'll come back. It's just a matter of and you know, you can conspiracy theory it all you want, or whether you believe it or not, or whatever's going on. There's entities in there and there's gates that have to, you know, you have to overcome them to really get people safe. People have to feel safe to get on the airplane. So once those gates are met and those levels are met, then it seems like we're putting more and more out there, though. It's just ridiculous.
If I was a legacy carrier, I would be running all kinds of tests. You know what I mean? I'd be taking up flights with people that are infected and people that aren't, and quarantining them on the back end and running some tests, like just to validate how safe the industry is. But
you would have to. Go ahead. Then you'd have to have people that want to like get infected with COVID, right? Or willing to take the odds to go up there in their plane.
I think Tyler will do it.
I'll do it.
Tyler do it. He's probably got antibodies.
I'm a survivor,
anyway.
Benji.
Yeah, he's already
He's a
had it.
survivor.
He's got antibodies. We're not talking about his venereal diseases. We're talking about actual COVID. He's a survivor there too. Ladies, he's a catch.
I've got the antibodies.
He can't catch anything. Right.
Have you really had it though? Did you really?
Yep. I got it. My symptoms started on July 7th, lasted about 2 days. Fever, like basically the list, sore throat, congestion. I had everything on the list, but they were all mild and they were all short-lived.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I lost smell, and that was like the trigger. I'm like, okay, I might actually have it, right? Is when I lost my sense of smell.
The thing is, in the morning, it felt like his normal hangover. So he was like, I'll just let it ride and see what happens. Then his foot fell asleep, and that's what made him go in. It's like weird. That's a new thing.
But yeah, no, it was easy and mild. So interesting fact, I did one of those mail-in tests for me to go back to my civilian flying job, and I fly corporate for people listening that aren't in the know. I had to have 2 consecutive negative tests to go back to fly.
Wow.
So at about 2 weeks in, I scheduled back-to-back tests each day, and they both came back positive.
Cool.
So even though I was, per the CDC guidelines, I was no longer contagious and I no longer had to quarantine, I was still showing positive. And then speaking with the health reps that call you after a positive test, they're like, yeah, it can be in your nose for 3 weeks. And at that 3-week point, I tested 2 consecutive times and they both popped negative. Interesting fact though, the 3 positive tests I took, and I confirmed this with the health department, is those each count is separate tests. So it's not one person had 3 positive tests, it's just 3 positive tests.
Right.
So these numbers are somewhat inflated, you know.
But, and you know what? And that's what a lot of people are saying. You know, people are taking multiple tests. They're just standing in line. They take the test. They go right back to the end of the line. and do it all over again.
Where'd you take the test? Did the company pay for it?
So, TRICARE paid for it. I took my first test was a mail-in test because at the time I couldn't even get an appointment. They were just booking up before I could schedule them. So I got the mail-in test. It came in the mail in like 2 days. FedExed it out the same day, and I had the results like 3 days later. 2 weeks later, instead of doing the mail-in test, I did the CVS. So I just drove through CVS. I scheduled an appointment. Very simple. Had the results 2 to 3 days later each time.
Is that the one that jammed the long motherfucker up your nose? Or?
It was definitely longer than the mail-in one. The mail-in one is essentially just a Q-tip. The CVS one was a pointy little fucker. And I was doing it myself. I didn't have a nurse jamming it up my nose, so I kind of, minimized the pain as much as possible. It was more uncomfortable than painful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had my first test today, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I had my second test yesterday. It was
Really?
8 minutes long.
Did you have 8 minutes?
Yeah, this is at the company.
Oh yeah.
Are they testing all of you guys? Is that what's going on?
It's voluntary, and you sign up and you walk in and you're in and out in 12 minutes.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so I didn't do that. We can do that if you're going to like Hong Kong now requires it. You can't get into Hong Kong without a paper that says you have a negative test.
Let me correct my last statement. It's not all voluntary. Yeah, if you're going international, it may be mandatory, but on the domestic side, voluntary.
But I woke up this morning and I thought I had symptoms. So I had a low-grade fever, cough and all that stuff. But I just came back from China like 2 days ago. So I was like, I need to get a test, right? Woke up and kind of freaked out. So
Everybody's freaking out.
You live in Florida. The Chinese are like, wait, he lives in Florida. We need a test.
We need that,
right?
From South Florida. Chinese.
So speaking of that, I was reading an article today. For one of you guys, you have a base in Hong Kong, and it sounds like it's creating a lot of logistical hurdles for those guys, huh?
It is. And it is not a fun place to be right now from what I understand.
Well, is it because of the COVID or the political issues that they're having over there?
It's a combination. It's a 1-2 punch. It's a combination of both. They're expecting that base to go very junior here shortly as guys are looking to come back. And just not have to deal with it.
Yeah. I got a buddy that works there, and that was his thing, man. He loved it over there. Like, it was such a great base.
Mhm.
And now he kind of says the same thing. It's
just
not what it used to be.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, no one can really predict what's going to happen, but it's not a fun place to do it.
When did you leave the unit?
About 1 year ago, exactly a year ago.
Really? So,
yeah.
So, have I been gone that long? So, was I on your hiring board? I just hazed you.
No, you're not on the board. Wait, which one? The first or the second?
Yeah, exactly. I think I was on the first one. Wasn't I on the first one or the second one? I don't know. Jeez, that was man. We really wanted you on. So, but I was gone by the time you came, right? Or like
no. When I came back for the second interview, we overlapped there about 7 months, and you pieced out.
Oh, okay, but in those 7 months, I was really there only. I mean,
it was
only the haze.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Kind of like the 7 years prior.
I was there. I was there when you were rolling this guy that was rushing the unit into the pool at Nate's.
You were there for that?
Yeah.
Man, apparently, like, that was a big deal. Like, people mention that, and I'm like, I don't know what this kid looks like.
Who is that?
Yeah,
what year was that?
That wasn't who that would be.
That dude's in the unit now.
Yeah, he is.
He's a co-pilot. He's a tall dude with glasses.
Yeah, he said he did. He said he did MMA or something.
It's the night. What's his name?
This is Nate's old house, right? Not the new.
Yeah. Who's the old one? I don't know. The guy was. I don't remember what he said. He said something about. Yeah.
I don't know if he won, but he definitely stood his ground. He put up a good fight.
He did. He stood his ground. He didn't win.
I think he ended up in the pool.
That's how he ended up wet. But he did stand his ground into that, and he got my respect after that. But the thing is, I wasn't instigating him, so it'd be different if I was. And I wasn't. Somebody put him up to it, and they said, "Hey, you see that little bear over there? Go poke him.
Yeah.
See what happens." Yeah. And he's a tall dude. I think he's like what 6. He's about as tall as you, Tyler.
Yeah,
he's 6'2".
He's 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, he's big. He's tall, lanky, but tall. And he said something to me. I'm like, excuse me? Excuse me, pledge?
I want to say his wife's Brazilian, and he might have done Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
It's the same guy. Yes.
Yep. Same dude. So he goes, I guess, as the story goes, he comes up, he's like, yo, I hear you train or something. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I just came here to drink. I'm trying to, But then he like pressed the issue, and then I'm like, dude, aren't you a pledge? Like, why? So they put him up to it, saying, and Masino, you were there, right?
Maybe in spirit, I think.
Yeah, man.
But
and I know other people.
If Eric had 3 drinks in him, he won't remember.
Yeah. Right. Well, as the story goes, I guess they put him up to it, and I don't know what was said on that side. It's been told to me secondhand, like, again, go poke the little bear over there and see what happened. And he towers over me. I'm only 5'9", 5'10" on a good day when I'm wet, upside down. And he poked the wrong bear. I'm an old bear though. Like, I was like, dude, I've been doing it for some time now. I mean, you're a young buck. I mean, and when it comes to, Masino, you could probably attest to this. When it comes to martial arts, especially grappling arts, it's all about mat time. It's all about time on the mat. If you have more time on the mat, you're just gonna be better. Yeah, if you have more time kicking, your kicks are gonna be better, and that's what it came down to. It's just an experience thing. Have you and
Masino ever sparred?
Nah, it's different. It's different. It'll be a different thing. He's kicking and punching, and I'm grappling. So I would win.
You know what we need to do?
That's why I won't do it, because
I would love to see.
We don't need to do it, Tyler.
A squadron party.
People have been trying to do
Winner
this for
takes
12
all.
years.
They have been trying to do that.
You two and Johnny Pullen.
Oh,
See, now that's another thing people want to talk about. See, anybody who decides to challenge Johnny is just plain stupid.
Dude, I've rolled with Johnny. Not pleasant.
No.
Not pleasant. You know, so JP is 54, maybe.
Probably.
Is he that old?
I don't know if he's that
He's
old,
got me by
maybe.
some. He's got me by a few years, by at least 6 to 8 years. And when I say I've rolled with this dude, when I say he's relentless, like he'll let things break. He will.
That's right. You have to kill him.
He'll let it break. You have to kill him.
He's died like 3 times anyway, so he doesn't care.
True. So he knows. He's been there. He's talked to spirits. He doesn't care. Like he's willing to go the distance.
Right. That's right.
So you know, and I've rolled with him. We have a good time. You know, and I'm like, dude, I'll have him in something. I've had him in things. Why aren't you tapping? I don't know, dude. Just, you know, see how far I can go. See, you know, I kind of want to go to sleep already. And he's got, you know, that Cali drawl, California. And then he'll get me in something. I'm like tapping like a thumper.
Yeah, that's the guy you want on your side. No, that's something that, like, dude, you gotta know. Yeah,
he's great.
But you wouldn't know it. You look at the guy.
You wouldn't, and that's what I love about it. That's what I love about, you know, this whole thing. All of it. Yeah, all of it. Like, well, you know, just, and again, so to bring it back full circle, the young buck came up and you know, he didn't know, and you know, he sizes me up. He's like, oh yeah, I got this little guy. He didn't. It was different. Needless to say, he ended up wet. He was in the pool, and we had a good time though. You know, in mutual respect, we from a grappler's perspective, we kissed and made up, and not that it was anything anyway. But.
You know, and that's what's funny about talking to each of you individually. Like, hey, Johnny, you want to fight? Would you fight Eric? He's like, I don't really want to, man. You know, and then I'm like, hey, Eric, you want to fight Johnny? He'll kill me, or you know, like everybody, like fighters seem to be quite humble typically.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Because
you've got your ass kicked so many times.
Because you've gotten your ass kicked. You have a mutual respect for the art whatever it is.
But I think you have to understand, like, we know how bad it can get.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And that's the other side of it. Like, we know how bad this can get for whoever's involved, and a lot of times it's not the place you want to go.
Yeah, exactly. We know how bad it can get on accident. In training, let alone like the real deal. Like if I'm intentionally trying to hurt somebody, you know, we're not intentionally trying to hurt somebody when you're training, but it happened. Hell, I broke a leg, I've dislocated a shoulder, I've broken my nose 3 times, and you know, half of those, half of them weren't even in competition or in a fight. It was training.
You know,
last time I broke my nose, I was training somebody else. And so incidentally, anytime you hear like this coach, you know you're about to get hurt.
So, not to get political, when the whole defund the police thing started, Joe Rogan had Jocko Willink.
Yeah, I saw that.
And for if you don't know who he is, you know, he's former Navy SEAL officer, and now he's an author and does all this other stuff. If you
don't know who he is, unfollow us, go follow him, then come back to us.
He'll bring a lot of podcast. Yeah, he'll bring a lot of value to your life. But he was saying, he's like, you know what? If the training for police officers involved martial arts, and it was like an 8-month academy focusing on martial arts with recurrent training on a monthly basis, you know, a few hours a week minimum. Absolutely. He's like, cops are going to have a different level of confidence, and they're not going to have that urge. You know, they're going to know how to handle people.
Conflict resolution. They're going to have conflict resolution, that verbal kung fu. They're going to be able to talk to people and downgrade something that seems hostile into something that we're just talking, man. Civil discourse. We're just trying to, you know, solve a problem with words.
And on the other side of that, I think they control their emotions better if they go through that training. Like a lot of it, the guy just can't control his emotions. He loses it on somebody, something happens, and now he's in jail for it. Whereas now, if he can control his emotions and walk back that situation, like you just said, then whole different story.
Yep. Yeah, so I did a lot of training. I still do with some IDF guys, some Israeli guys. And we do a lot of stress and aggression, very much like in jiu-jitsu or in any kind of fight sport. You have this stress and aggression drill.
Everyone's drafted, right? And a portion, they all do 2 years, and martial arts is 4 years. And a martial arts is basically the basis of their training, right? So when they come out, it's a completely different specimen.
Absolutely.
I would imagine.
And the beauty of the guys I train with is the guy I trained with, he was a commando in the IDF, but he was kind of a mixed bag, and I mean that figuratively and in reality, because he was Israeli but of mixed descent, so he was bigger than Israelis tend not to be huge people by and large, right? They're not like you, Tyler, 6 whatever, right? But Americans are. And actually, Benji, you're pretty tall and you're a big dude too. You're not little, right? So when you look at Americans, man, Americans are like, I mean, look at Jocko, Willick, you look at some of these dudes, they're freaking huge. So what he did, when he came to the United States, he basically made it a hybrid. He took the Krav Maga that they learn over there, coupled it with the knife fighting, the disarms, the guns, and all this stuff, but then put in a lot of like American style wrestling, jiu-jitsu, some of this other stuff. So it's kind of a hybrid, and it's to handle bigger dudes. You don't want to be under like a big guy. I don't want to be under either one of you two. Masino's my size, so I can probably handle it. But once he starts implementing knees, I'm not going to like it. But I don't want to be under a big guy. So this is the kind of system to which they train towards. And it's been amazing experience. Yeah. But that stress and aggression, you're absolutely right. And I think that's what Jocko was getting to, is like, once you've been through that, you know what real stress and aggression is. You know how to mitigate, having, that threat mitigation and conflict resolution, right? Those buzzwords, all that crap. They know how to deal with it. And it definitely has to come down. It comes down to training. This defund stuff, no. Fund training. Defund other stupid stuff, sure. But don't defund the police. Like, I like the police, so I don't want to. So now you say defund the police. Now I got to fund my armory even more. Like, that's a lot of money.
And you can't buy bullets or guns right now.
Oh, well, you got to have a guy. I got a guy.
Oh, you got a guy?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Shout out to AndroCorp Industries. Nobody's listening anyway. But at some point, somebody will be. And my buddies at AndroCorp Industries will be like, "Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for mentioning us, AndroCorp Industries, on the podcast." I'm like, "Yeah, you're welcome. Now, give me a free gun."
So what'd you get?
I bought an AR from them, and they have a AR-15. It's a thing of beauty. These guys make great guns. They're here in Central Florida, here in Orlando, specifically Winter Garden. But they online, if you go to their website or go to their YouTube, or not, they got YouTube, but Instagram. They do a lot of stuff on Instagram. AndroCorp, and
how do you spell that?
I probably have some of their stuff around here somewhere.
How do you spell that?
Do you want me to show you? No, I can't do that on here. You never know. People get all sensitive stuff. I don't know if well, all right, let me go get it.
Point the AR right at the camera.
Oh, there he goes.
He's going to get it. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Oh, man. There you go. Oh,
no, there we go.
I have to ask permission to be unmuted. Can you take that off? Fuck. Anyway, so it's in my gun safe. So all those that are responsible gun owners, keep it in a safe. It's in my closet in my room, and my daughter happens to be in there. So I'm like, let me leave it alone.
That's all right.
But you know what? I'll put a link in the bio, and if you go to them, you won't get a discount yet, but
put the link in the bio.
I might. I'll put a link in the bio, and those guys can make some good stuff. I am in the market for a 9mm AR-9, so we'll see. They make a beautiful one, man. Oh,
yeah, I just shot one the other day. My buddy's got one. It is a nice gun. It really is.
It's so awesome. Yeah,
it's sleek, it's sexy. It's got all those things going for it.
Fits in a backpack.
Yep.
If you need that kind of thing for self-defense.
If the zombies are coming at you,
they gotta go. They gotta go. Tommy's gotta go.
So Brandon,
what were we talking about?
While you were off looking for your gun, Masino, we were kind of talking about what people are doing in their time off, and Eric is mentioning that he's got some Zoom calls. He's actually looking to start a podcast in the karate arena, and I asked him to hold off to talk about it till you got on. What's your meeting?
We're not looking though, man. It's gonna happen. So we've got
absolutely good.
YouTube page up. Well, we just happen to have my partner is in Canada, and so he is a part of the National Canadian Organization, right, for karate.
Oh, wow.
So between
He lives
the two,
there?
yeah, he lives actually in Victoria, just outside. It's on the island, right, of Vancouver.
Vancouver, BC.
Yeah, beautiful place, though. By the way, if you guys ever get out there, man, get to
Never
Vancouver.
been. I'd love to.
Dude, it's a paradise out there. It's a
Vancouver
paradise.
is awesome. Yeah.
What's that? The food.
Vancouver's great.
Vancouver's amazing.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. And you can have just taking like an Air Canada flight out to the island, man. Spend a day. Wonderful.
Best sushi I've ever had in my life, Vancouver.
Wow. Man, awesome. Yeah, it's a great city. Great city.
Wow. Yeah, it is. Except in February. February's cold.
February, yeah. Or January. Yeah, I don't think a lot of us do cold, by the way, since we're all in semi-South Florida.
Well,
right?
I like cold. I'm built for the cold.
Well, you're a Michigan guy. Yeah, I'm not. My people are Caribbean people, so no. I'm right where I need to be. Florida. Love it. So that's cool. So what's the premise behind that karate?
Yeah. Well, we're just like, I think we talked about it last time on a different podcast, but we're just trying to put content together. We were starting to realize that we have access to, in this sport industry, your top 0.5%, 1%, all the guys that are out there doing it now, if it wasn't for COVID, we would have had a karate team at the Olympics for the first time ever in Japan this year. Right?
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, the first time ever, karate is going to be in the Olympics in Tokyo this year.
Because they have Taekwondo. They have Taekwondo.
Well, yeah, but I think Taekwondo is gone now. I think they voted that out.
Is that the one that got booted? They tried to do it to wrestling, and I was feverishly writing emails and all that. Can you believe they're trying to take wrestling out?
I can't. Yeah, that's like who started it all, right?
Like wrestling and running. Wrestling and running. Can you you put a man to his back, or can you beat him in a foot race? Those were like the two only Olympic sports.
Yeah.
That was it. That's what started it all.
That's it.
And you're naked.
And you're naked. You are naked.
Yes. You got to leave. Maybe 2 leaves.
You had to leave. And if you're smart, you put 2 leaves together and tucked it in, made it. Anyway, I digress. So karate's going to be in it now. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah. So, but now obviously our big shiny moment of glory has been taken from us through COVID, obviously, because they shut down the Olympics.
Jeez.
But we'll do it again next year. And so if it happens in 2021, it'll be the same time. We've already got it scheduled, all that stuff, right? It'll be in Tokyo at the Budokan. So it'll be a real cool venue.
Dude.
Yeah, it's going to be.
That's badass. If you do it, I didn't think about that.
You'll have enough of an audience by then from your podcast. You might even
that actually
get announcer status.
And maybe. I think they already have that worked out. But what we started to realize is that we've got all those athletes that are on that team. They're all personal friends of ours.
There's no reason why you can't be the they have the official media people over there, but what about the unofficial? And those people are the ones that really push the sport. They really push the interaction, and the podcasters and things like that. They're going to need you just as much as they need NBC, ABC, and all that ridiculousness. So no, dude, you're right there, and you create a following before you even get there. They're going to be clamoring.
If you think about it, they had a voice before COVID, right? And now you have all these young athletes out there that these guys are their idols, right? And now they're nowhere. You can't. Unless they have an Instagram presence or a YouTube presence or a Facebook presence they constantly bring to you. That's the only way it is to interact with these people, who are at the top level of your sport.
And you have no barrier to them. You can DM them, and they're gonna want to talk to you.
Dude, they're on my cell phone. That's how close of contact it is. So it's just a great way for all of North America to get this out here in this format right here, and I think it's going to go great. And so,
and aren't you one of the? Well, correct me. Obviously, you're going to correct me if I'm wrong, because I am. Like a federation, you founded it, or you're part of a board, or aren't you deep entrenched?
So for our Japanese system, we have a U.S. delegation, right? We have a board of directors for that. And we have an organization. It's monitored by the outside, by the head technical committee for the international committee, right? Or the national community. And so, I'm on the board of directors of that. And
huge.
Sitting next to me is going to be the team coach. And sitting on the other side is the team captain of the U.S. karate team, right? Awesome. So, we have all this. And then I haven't talked about Canada yet. I think the Canadian athletes in their program is probably superior to the United States program.
Hold on, slow down. We're talking about slow the fuck down. We're talking about Canada. Stop it.
We are talking about Canada.
Stop it.
They can
make American karate great again.
You better check your allegiance, dude. You know what I mean?
Well, I will take that back
American
because
karate. Really? Maca? Is that what it? Jesus Christ. How many of those drinks have you had?
Yeah, I'm on my third, so this is about it. I got a cap So, but anyway, so that's what we're looking at.
Maca.
All right, don't do that 10 times fast.
Yep.
No. But anyway, this has been, so I think the format itself and what it's given, to us to be able to do this, even the four of us sitting here today,
Yeah. So this is a perfect example of taking advantage of COVID to potentially put your life on a completely different vector.
Absolutely. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something that, in 3 to 5 years, if you need to, can stand alone on it. Right.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler and I have discussed this a lot to the credit of what he's saying. And that we have an opportunity, and a lot of people, it's not easy, it's not sexy, it's not fun. I know you two guys, because of the companies you work for, are not in any danger. But some of the other folks that are maybe watching or listening, they might be. But take the opportunity. Like I might be on the chop a lot. After after these new numbers came out, so the initial numbers that came out, I was like, I'm good. A second wave of numbers came out, and I'm like, That's only like 1,000 numbers away from me. That's not a lot.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think those numbers are being manipulated to get more money from the government? Do you think that
is the theory? And whether they are or not, I don't know. And quite frankly, I don't care.
Yeah.
And because that's something I can't control. I'm not even gonna whatever. What I can control is this time that I'm spending now. And we're trying to develop something. We're trying to come up with something. We're trying to develop something that nobody can take away. And everybody has an opportunity for that. Now, create something. Exactly. And we're doing that. Tyler and I are definitely entrenched in developing and trying to do just that. I mean, he's already been doing it he gave up how many airline gigs have you given up? And it sounds like, for the record, all right, anybody keeping score, Tyler might be in the winning column with this one. Not to toot your horn, because I hate doing that. But when you start talking to some of the other guys, back in the day, Masino, you probably remember, Benji maybe a little bit, we were giving a lot of shit to Tyler. And
what's changed?
Dude,
we still
we still do. It's just in different things.
I encourage it.
It's in his height, his weight, and the fact that he smells like cold cuts and cheese. But no, before it was like, dude, take the airline job. What are you doing? Take the airline. He was like, no, I'm gonna ride this thing out. And we're like, you're an idiot. And then turns out,
well, haven't crossed the finish line yet. So,
dude,
the finish line's always moving, anyways. As far as I'm concerned,
it is the finish line. You'll never find it.
Speaking of that, I have a good friend. She started at C5's Westover in the reserves, and she's from the Boston area. I was trying to get her to get on with JetBlue, and I was pushing it for a long time, for 6 months. Like, what are you doing? You're single. You can live the life, travel all over the world, jump seat, and then this happened. And if she had not remained an art in her unit, it would have been a bloodbath. It would have been terrible. Yeah.
She would have come find you. She would have come to find you. And
so I thought I knew everything.
In your sleep.
Shit. I didn't know anything.
There's no way of knowing this, but
you could.
But it's one of those things that you have to take a breather, sit back, and go, wow, who could have thought? And then it makes you change your decision-making matrix a little bit. You try to look for things that are recession-proof. You look for things that are, furlough-proof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hashtag Furlough Friday.
I'd say look for things.
Like you were saying earlier that Masino and I are in no fear of losing our jobs. I mean, I don't think that's true either. Like, I honestly don't feel as if we're bulletproof and that I should not also prepare in case something happens, And
that's a great mentality to have. You're absolutely right. You never know. You just never know. That's a great mentality to have. And that's what we'd hope a lot of the listeners and people that are watching this kind of get out of what this Furlough Friday is. That's like kind of the whole premise behind Furlough Friday is like, hey, this is what's happening in the industry at this particular time, but this is what you could do. You know, these are some of the other things. We have some other channels that are associated with, you know, Sky Pirates, and, you know, go check them out. These are some other things that you can partake in. You know, we have a business channel. Go check it out. Go see, you know, it may spark something. It may elicit, hey, you know what? I'm going to, that idea I had that I didn't have time to mess with, I got time now, and let's see what happens, you know?
You'd be amazed at what you can do with $500 and an iPhone.
Dude, wow.
Like,
wow.
You can build an entire business around the one thing you care about, and you could care about Pokemon, right? You can build a business around Pokemon with an iPhone and $500. You know, if you're passionate about it. Yep.
I'm a true believer now of where we're at, though I don't understand it, because, you know, I think I'm the oldest of all four of us. Like, I remember party lines in New York, like, or you know, having landlines and rotary phones and all that garbage. So it's different, but I am a firm believer that, though I don't understand a lot of it, I'm a firm believer that this is something, like, we have an opportunity here. Like, these young kids got it. These young kids are, though it might be stressful, and I know the whole bullying thing is bad, but there's also a positive side to this thing. And people are making money on TikTok. I mean, Joe Rogan's going off on some of these video game guys. These video game guys are making millions.
Yes.
Millions. My buddy's kid, you know, he's what is he, 11? I don't know. He's 11 years old. All he wants to do is play video games. And you can't tell a kid now, stop playing video games. Yeah. It'll rot your brain.
Right. There's no money in that. You can't say that.
Oh, well, Dad, what about Ninja? He just made $3 million last year.
Yeah.
Well,
last year.
All right.
No, but are
fix my
guys,
car.
Are those guys outliers? Like, can you make an average living? Can you make $130,000 a year? How many people make an average
You have to be good, right? I mean, not everybody's LeBron.
Sure.
Right.
But so he's at the top of the food chain. Meanwhile, there's below him, there's teams of video game practitioners. I guess they're called players. They play video games. There's teams of them that are making six figures as teenagers, as 20-something. We're just talking about Ninja because he got a contract. That kid, Ninja, got a contract. It's a Stitcher thing, you know, and I don't even know the ins and outs. I'm probably speaking out of place, out of my ass, but he got a whole different deal. But everybody underneath him, they're still making six figures.
We got to think about it.
And that's the thing too. Like, you're just thinking of the players, right?
What about everything around it?
Any one of us can own a team, right? If we have $100,000, you can be a minority owner in one of these teams, right? And it's no different than Detroit Tigers or the Penguins or whatever, right? And you have so much less overhead. You're just investing in this team, and you have tryouts, you have cuts, you have performance metrics. Like, there's always someone stepping up.
Here's the thing: get in now.
Yep.
Do it now when people are like skeptical.
Yep.
Get into the skepticism now. Invest now when it's cheap. So now you're on the you're on the come up with the industry, and you might be able to make a little noise. Yep. And kind of write your own ticket when it comes to now. First of all, it's $1 billion industry. Let's not sneeze. And I know we're just picking on this one industry because to us, I think the four of us, I don't know. How old are you, Benji? Are you born in the 90s, 80s? You're born in the 80s, right?
70s.
70s. Okay. Well, all right.
79.
Okay. He's
got that baby face. Yeah. Oh, that baby face that we just want to smack the shit out of. No, so we think about where it is now, and we just kind of cringe. But it's here. It's not going anywhere, and we might as well jump on it early.
Did you know they have an ETF named after that? There's actually an ETF that tracks the online gaming. It's called Nerd. Look it up. NERD. It's an ETF, right? Brand new. Started like maybe 6 or 8 months ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think that that's going to be, around for a long time. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
I kind of like the fact that nerds are kind of on the come up, even though I was kind of a pseudo jock nerd in high school. It's kind of cool to see
Yeah.
them do their thing. And
But you talk about not being the top guy, right? Or not being the number one on that team, right? You're not going to be the Serena Williams or whoever that is. But we don't even know the player that played them on the third round of Wimbledon, right?
yeah,
But, they made $1 million that day.
they still made money.
Just making the third round of Wimbledon.
Making the third round. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And
so are these video game superstars? Do they have superstar groupies?
Absolutely.
That's a good point.
They got girls that love them.
Benji's looking for his other angle.
No.
Because he plays a lot of video games.
He's gonna supply the groupie is what's happening here.
Exactly. He's gonna supply the groupies with condoms and
glasses.
My wife is within earshot, so don't worry.
I'm not saying you gotta do anything. I'm just saying you gotta be the supply. That's all.
No, yeah, you're supplying them with all the things that are.
I mean, you do live in South Miami, right? So
no, I live outside
South Florida, Fort Lauderdale.
Huge difference.
Cooper City.
Hey, these groupies need a manager, Benji.
They do.
Cooper City, not to be confused with Liberty City. Masino drove by, going on his way to work one day. He drove by and saw the sign. It's like, Benji, I drove by Cooper City and it looked like a really nice neighborhood. I'm like, yeah, Eric, why wouldn't it be? And then I realized this guy thinks I live in Liberty City.
Oh my gosh.
As in Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto.
Or the U 30 for 30 where all the players came from.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the U. Yeah, exactly. Liberty City, Grand Theft Auto. Talk about video games.
Hey man, it's being gentrified, up and coming. It's
sure.
He's getting on the ground floor. I respect that.
Smart.
Smart, savvy.
Yeah, I'm not sure
savvy.
I'm not sure if it's Carroll City or Liberty City. Both are low-income neighborhoods, but apparently with the talks of the sea level rising and everything, it's looking like people are looking to buy properties in Carroll City or Liberty City. I can't remember which one.
In order moving off the beach.
Plan for the future is whatever.
Yeah.
We got it happening here in Central Florida too. I mean, they're trying to, when disaster happens or something, they go in there and pick it apart. It's right downtown. It's right there. Of course, in between the stadiums and all this stuff. So they want it bad. It's prime real estate.
That place needs a facelift, though.
It's happening.
Orange Blossom Trail, really?
Yeah. Well, that place is different, but it's happening downtown, and then it's going to spread. Like I saw the plans for, it's called Orlando 2050, and it was amazing what's happening. It's already starting to happen with the,
I'm sure it is.
The highway and all that stuff. But yeah, it's and that's the thing, not to get off on a tangent. Why not? When we start talking about Central Florida and Florida in general, as opposed to like Silicon Valley, why wouldn't people move here? Why wouldn't people use this as a super region between the Space Coast and Tampa, or even go farther, and St. Pete, right? It's a super region. Why are people coming here? We need to think about that. So when I'm governor, a little bit. Well, not like in droves, like there is a little tech town. Remember
in Detroit? Detroit tried that too. I'm not sure where they're at now with that, but Detroit was allegedly in the running for Google or Amazon. Amazon, not Google. I know Google is there. But like the Midwest needs an Austin.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Austin's great. I think Florida would be a great spot. Silicon Valley's been this little ecosystem.
Well, it's because of the school there, though. It's because of Stanford. That's what really started Silicon Valley. So we need a Stanford, something like that over here, and it just spread from there. But
UCF,
when you start talking about, UCF, get your shit together. Rollins College, get your shit together. What's up? UT, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Come on, let's do it. Like, there's no reason why, year-round sun. Mm-hmm. You got beaches, you got water everywhere. You're within 2 hours of all kind of paradises. Is
no
that
state
the
tax.
right way to say that? No state, like that
no
alone.
State tax.
No state tax. Why do you think Rogan's moving to Texas?
That's right. Yep.
Like, come on. Why do you think all the New Yorkers are trying to come down here?
$100 million as possible.
Yes,
yeah, and if they're gonna release $100 million, releasable $100 million, it's $200 million. So come on, what are you doing? you got to go to some place where there's no state tax. So, yeah, so Silicon, it's cold up there. It rains. It's not, people think Silicon Valley or California. It's not SoCal. It's cold. The surf sucks. Well, okay, it doesn't suck. It's fun. I've done it. But it's cold. You need a wetsuit, dry suit. You know, it's not what people think. So why not come to sunshine? So I'm a soapbox. I'll get off the soapbox, but that's my advocacy for coming to Central Florida to start these businesses. And all right, Apple, come on through.
Yeah, Silicon Valley specifically though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that specifically. Yeah, over Tampa or Miami or even the other coast.
Everything. There's so much going on here, and it is growing. There's a lot. We do have a little tech town. We'll see what happens, but you know, we need to get some mass transit. Yeah. Governor, get it together, DeSantis.
It's never going to happen.
We need a high-speed train, Miami, Tampa, Orlando.
Well, it's happening. So let me give you a little history on that.
Yeah, to what, 2050 maybe? 2051.
No.
Yeah. It'll be a year.
Let me give you a little history about
70, Brendan.
So I was on one of these Leadership Orlando things, 2010 or so, 2010, 2013, and we were talking about a high-speed rail between the I-4 corridor between Tampa and Orlando, right? That's what we want. Everybody wants, because I-4 between Tampa and Orlando is chaos.
The worst.
It's awful.
So it was Obama money, and as the story goes, and I'm sure I'm going to have people on here that disagree, and that's fine. I don't care. As the story goes, as we know it, it was Obama money because of infrastructure during, you know, his reign, and the governor at the time, Rick Scott, said absolutely not. It's going to cost X, Y. You know, Republican, Democrat, you know, that whole thing. It got political. He put the kibosh on it. So fast forward a few years later, there's a high-speed rail going down, and now it's going the other direction. It's privatized. It's no government money. It's privatized. There might be some government stipends in there somewhere. I just don't know about. But
is there Elon Musk money in there?
There may be some but meanwhile, a lot of politicians have their fingers in it now, and it's going the other direction now. So now it's not going I-4 corridor between Tampa and Orlando. It's going the other direction, and Grand Central is already built. So on the airport in MCO, Orlando Airport, there's a Grand Central station that has 3 lines. The people move over to the main terminal. I think JetBlue actually might own some of those gates. There's a high-speed rail that's going to go from Orlando. First stop is going to go out to the Cape, skip the Cape, and make a right turn down to Miami. First stop is going to be
Palm Beach.
What's north? Palm Beach. Sorry, yeah, West Palm Beach. Palm Beach. There's going to be 5 stops: Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, somewhere else, and then 2 stops in Miami.
Yeah.
And so it's happening. It's already started. Like if you go down 528, it's going to follow the line that's already out there, as far as I know.
Is it gonna pass through all their airports, like the Palm Beach Airport, the Fort Lauderdale Airport?
So if you know where Fort Lauderdale, if you're familiar with Fort Lauderdale in Miami, you already know where there's stations already.
The Bright Line. We got the Bright Line.
The Bright Line, yeah. Correct. So it's supposed to be using piggybacking off of that. So we have a Sunrail here too. That also, so the Sunrail goes up the spine of Central Florida, feeds into Grand Central at the airport, and then from there you can take the high-speed rail down to Miami area, or South Florida, I should say. And yeah, it's so instead of going that way, it's going the other direction, privatized money, and all of a sudden it gets blessed. It's crazy. Rick Scott.
How high speed is this high speed?
Yeah, so I saw numbers, and I can't quote them right now. You know, I actually do have it on my computer.
It's not China high speed.
No, it's not like maglev.
You're not doing 200 miles an hour, right?
Yeah, so I did a maglev out of Shanghai once, and it's amazing. Yeah, how fast you're going 300 and something clicks. So which is, you know, I don't know, do the math. I think we got up to 313 or 320 kilometers an hour, I guess they go by. And it's fast. And then when the other one passes, if the window's open, you hear this, it sucks the air out of it. It's insane. It's not going to go that fast, especially when it kicks out towards the Cape. It can't go that fast because it can't slow down that fast, right? So it's going to go, rough numbers, you know, don't quote me, somewhere like 90, which is still pretty quick.
Still, yeah.
No stop, because it has to make that 90-degree turn.
Whatever happened to Hyperloop? I thought that was going to be a thing in Florida.
Ask Elon. Yeah. Let's write Elon. It's like, dude, what's up? Come to the Silicon Valley of the East.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's start the rumor, man. Fuck it.
So Benji, what are you doing outside of work during COVID?
I think all he does is work.
Outside of work, dude, it's busy. I got a 3-year-old, 5-year-old. The 5-year-old is probably not going to start kindergarten like planned. So we're just kind of trying to figure out homeschooling, not homeschooling, but e-learning. So homeschooling, I just got schooled on this.
Are you doing Florida virtual school?
Is a whole different thing. And then, it's just going to be virtual at-home stuff. And we're just trying to figure out that whole thing. But the big thing going on is tomorrow the boys are getting snipped, so we can take a.
Oh yeah, that's right. Congrats!
Wow, that's a big thing.
I'll drink to that. Everybody raise your glasses.
Hold on. Excuse me.
Jesus.
What's happening?
The boys
3 or 4
tomorrow.
Man, and we wait for the podcast to release that information.
After four drinks, I figure it's time to mention.
Wow. Let's lift our cups, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
No more Benji Reynolds going on.
Attaboy.
Yeah,
wow. Life changes.
That's what's going on outside of COVID and work.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, 11 a.m.
So when that happens, when they take the balls out, do you get to put them up in the rafters?
Yeah. Do they give you
No, they do. They take them out.
Do they give your wife as a gift?
Yeah. You can either have a
be on the nightstand.
You can put them in a shadow box.
Yeah, like a little shadow box. Right.
They put in a couple of prosthetics, and then the rest goes into the wife's purse.
Those
hey, babe.
Noodles.
Are you ordering larger prosthetics?
Yeah. I'm going to get the ones that you can pump up real big. And then you can let the air out.
No. Get the ones that sound like jingle bells.
Ooh.
So that you can, during the holidays, you become the life of the party.
Yeah. You can control it with your phone.
Wait, everyone
Bluetooth.
Quiet down. It's Daddy's turn to make the music.
And you get to start the whole thing. And 1, and 2, and jingle bells. I mean, that's definitely. Come on.
I'm going to Salvation Army guy
that came up with this idea. Hold up.
Wait, you let her come up with the idea? How about she get snipped? What's going on here?
That's why he's getting snipped.
That's why.
Because he has no ideas? Because she came up with it? Is that what? They say men should get, it's easier on the whole chemistry and all that, right?
Yes.
For men to get snipped over women. I think that's bullshit. And that's a ploy from the other side, we'll say. So they don't have to go through it. Show me the data.
Yeah. Show me the science behind that.
It's the science.
He mentioned
it's probably true. I don't know.
He mentioned, his kid might not be starting school or whatever. I had some conversations. Well, we can come back to this.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge edit, by the way, Benji. Thanks.
I don't think
you're going to have to edit out your wife.
So
it's your fault.
Hi, Trudy.
It's your fault. You're cutting his balls off.
So, do you have any?
My nuts.
Do you have any plans tonight with your husband? Like a one last hurrah?
She does.
More specifically, do you have any parting words for said situation? What are you going to say to them? What are you going to say to them tonight that you can't say to them tomorrow?
Well, we have a babysitter for tonight, so.
Ooh, where are you going?
Well. We are going to be talking to
I probably shouldn't drink anymore.
No, or they won't work.
This is exciting.
I'm sorry.
The last hurrah.
What's your wife's name? I'm sorry. I'm Brandon.
It's Truda.
Truda
from Norway.
From Norway. On behalf of the guys here, we're going to be thinking about his testicles all night.
I'm glad he's decided to share that with you.
So, we're a closed group, aviators. We all do. We're a brotherhood.
We all go through it.
We're not scared. On behalf of all of men around the world, we bid your balls adieu.
Yeah. Here's to that.
Cheers.
Treat those balls right tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate the guest appearance.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. On that note, how long has it been? Should we let him go? We can't let him get drunk and then not be able to perform.
I think it'll be okay.
I think it'll be okay.
Jeez. I love it. So this is tomorrow you're getting it done.
Dude, this is tomorrow. That's why when Tyler called me and asked me about doing this, I'm like, yeah. But
let's make it early.
I wasn't sure what time it's going to be. If it was going to be like a 7, 8 o'clock procedure, I probably couldn't drink. But it's not till like, I got to be there at 11. The procedure wouldn't be till noon.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's
Well,
get
I'm glad your balls could spend their last night.
Yeah.
This is the last hurrah for the balls.
Man, that's
wow.
great. We'll have to have you back on after you lose them. See what's changed. I wonder if you'll be more calm.
I'll be about 6 pounds lighter, but yeah, let's do it.
Can you put them in a shadow box, please, so you can show them?
Yeah.
And put them in be in your office and put them behind you. Like, oh
sure.
Yeah, they're right there. It's fine.
Yeah,
I took them.
I still got it. I still got it, guys.
Jeez.
Man, this is great.
Yeah.
This is. Oh my God!
That's good content right there.
Oh yeah.
That's beyond. Like, I don't know. You're making me sweat just the thought of it.
Just happy I'm here.
I remember when the tubes being tied was a thing, and now everyone's getting their balls snipped.
I think it's a ploy. I'm telling you, it's conspiracy theory. Since when? All of a sudden, guys, the what do we call that? The feminist shift, feminist shift. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
Where we're taking on some of the responsibilities that women typically were, and vice versa. I don't know if this one is quite up to par as fair. This one, I'm all for everything else, equality and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This one, I don't know. The jury's still out.
I'm gonna cut this up into about a 6-minute clip and share it to a couple of women's rights Facebook.
Apparently,
do that because
apparently it's reversible. But she just yelled from the other room. No, it's not.
Yeah. Haha. Tricked ya. Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? You got to ask Stewie about that. So one of our other aviators, Stewie, he got it done years ago. And we were on his ass, and it turns out you gotta go until you're blowing blanks, and that could take up to 10 tries after
3 weeks.
the procedure.
Sorry, 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah, that's what they told him. That's what they told him.
You gotta go back and do your thing and prove
So
that you got no voice.
Every 2 weeks you go back and whack off for the doctor. Is that how this goes?
No. Apparently,
no, that's not how it goes.
Apparently, you have a procedure. You still use birth control for 3 months, and in 3 months you go do that thing, and then they look at it and see if your boys are sewing or not.
So have you, how do you whack off in a hospital room?
I've not done it. I've not done it yet, brother. I don't know.
Do you really got to ask that question? I'm
just thinking, I don't know.
I did twice since we've been on the podcast. What are you talking about? What is wrong with you? How do you not? The better question is, how do you not?
I don't know. I don't like being under pressure.
I'm going to tell a quick story that's not bullshit. My roommate in college, and he and his wife had trouble conceiving, so they had to go with the in vitro thing. So he had to go, whack off and all that at the doctor's office. So he goes there, and as he's signing in, the nurse that was taking his chart was the girlfriend he had in college that we all knew.
Oh, stop it.
It was his girlfriend in college was the nurse that was taking his sample to go get analyzed. So
did he know that?
Did she help him? Did she help him out?
Yeah, at all?
Did she help him out?
She had to help him out.
This sounds like a stupid joke, but this is an actual thing.
It sounds like a lead into porn.
Yeah, it does.
It's like, no. We wanted a piss sample.
So of course we all asked the question, did she help you out?
Of course.
Yeah.
And the answer was,
who knows?
Who knows?
And next week in Furlough Friday 09.
You get the answer. It's called a cliffhanger, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Wow. I love that story.
Amazing. That is
Do I
cool.
know? Do I know this guy? He's not. You said in college, right?
He is not in college anymore.
No. Yeah,
Did you guys go to college together?
No, but you knew him in college. Is that
Then
where?
would you
No,
know
he's
him then,
he's
Eric?
my roommate. He's my roommate in college.
In college. Okay, gotcha. I missed that part. Sorry.
Roommate.
I'm 3.5
in college. What is wrong with you? I hope you don't kick like the way you think. Jesus.
Yeah, he's surpassed drink number 3. He's gonna try and get an Uber tonight, and 3 in a row are gonna decline his request.
Oh, I wonder if that's ever happened before.
I'm just gonna bring this group with us, and then that way, Tyler will explain the whole thing. Like, listen, you just need to let him in, let him sit there, let him go to the.
So I got a Whiskey Wednesday. I got a Whiskey Wednesday event going on tonight that I'm gonna take us and try to chop up some video. Let's hope I make it through. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm trying to interview the guy that's hosting it. It's gonna be a shit show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So stay tuned.
What's the interview topic?
So it's called. Let me pull it up real quick. It's called Mayhem or Whiskey Mayhem or something. Let me stand by. It's called. Okay, wait. Just hold on. Stop badgering me. Give me a fucking minute. Okay, it's called Stag. So it's gonna. Stag is the first whiskey they're doing, but I guess it's like this. O'Hagan's is this Irish pub that we have here in town that we kind of patron, and we wanted actually. So
I think the word's patronize. But anyways, go ahead.
Is it patronize?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, we're gonna go there. Oh, because last week. Okay.
You would be a patron.
Virality is a word.
We found out virality is a word that he made up, that he somehow got into the Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, just talk to Webster. He knows.
Apparently Webster knows, whatever. So yeah, it's called a Whiskey Society Wednesdays. It's at O'Hagan's, #O'Hagan's, #plug, #blah, blah, blah. And the first whiskey they're doing is called Stag. $12 pour all day, all night, apparently. And you're supposed to rate it or something. But here's a little fun fact. The guy that is doing it is the distributor for a whiskey that I don't have here. It's called Young, what was it? Hooten Young. So you guys know who Hooten is? Last name Hooten?
No.
Black Hawk Down. You guys might be too young.
Oh, yeah.
Black Hawk Down.
We talked about this. Yep.
So yeah, we talked about this. So I'm trying to get this guy on the show. One of the operators in Black Hawk Down, he was not actually shot down on the Black Hawk. He was one of the guys that was on a rooftop. He was part of the Marines or Army. Doesn't matter. He's a Delta guy. So he's Special Forces. He was on the rooftop that saw it go down, and then they traversed through the city to give aid to those that went down and just basically held off all the Somalis. It's a crazy story. I don't know if he goes into it. This is my own research once I found out who this guy was. But anyway, he's got this whiskey and cigar company. And this guy that I'm going to go visit is his distributor. And he's here, Central Florida. Can you believe that crap? So I want to get him on the show. We'll see. This might be a good plug for him. Yeah. But the whiskey's Hooten Young. Good stuff. Bought a bottle. And I just like the whole idea behind it. Great dude. He's a little older now. So that happened in, 93? Something like that. Yeah. I was in high school. So.
Might have been 90. Might have been 95.
Yeah, something like that. In the 90s, 93, 94, 95. So I remember I was in high school. But he lives here. And, he's got I don't know if he talks about the story much, and I wouldn't press him on it. But the fact that, and it goes back to military guys, operators being able to get on in the civilian world and just, go after that passion. Yeah. But long story longer, he's actually his distributor, which is Frankie. He's going to be at this place. I'm trying to make connections to go down that direction. So I plan on being really drunk later.
There you go.
Awesome.
Good call.
Yeah,
Boys,
it should be good stuff.
I unfortunately got to leave. My lady's taking me on a date before the big day.
Yeah, do that. Yeah. Use those boys, man. Use them to the fullest.
Good luck.
So we're going to go to dinner, and then we'll see what happens, and I'll report back next time.
Yeah, dude.
You certainly will. You'll be on here again. We want to know.
Yeah.
Thanks for including us in your last night.
Dude, thanks for inviting me. This has been awesome.
Appreciate it was fun.
Brother. It's good seeing you again, man. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to spend with you, but we can now. So It's good seeing you, brother.
See you guys.
Later. Good luck, bud.
All right.